What's happening?
How you doing?
Chilling, man, chilling.
Are you excited?
I'm excited, but you know, my feelings a little hurt.
Okay, hold on. Before you get into your feelings being hurt, can we just acknowledge that this is our very first episode of The Catch Up!
Catch up.
Cousin Catch Up, where the two of us are going to sit around and catch up for the week like we always do. A lot of sports
fans. So, I mean, obviously.
Mm-hmm. We are two cousins from Cincinnati, Ohio, that currently live in Los Angeles by way of a few other places. I went to college at the Howard University, and this man is from the Natty. He lives in the South Bay, I live in the Valley, so usually we only get a little bit of time to catch up a week. So we've decided to kind of have our normal weekly catch up and have some friends that come along with us.
Yeah.
Cornell's face is all tore up.
It just is.
We just had Monday Night Football last night, and what's your takeaway? Let's just hop into it.
All right, Bengals played the Commanders last night on Monday Night Football. I mean, big primetime game.
Yep.
They were 0-2 coming into this game, and
Yep.
they really needed to get this win.
Yep.
They really needed this win, but they could not pull it out. And this time, I can honestly say it wasn't the offense's fault. It was more on the defense. That defensive line, they couldn't stop it. They couldn't get a stop in this game at all. No third down stops. I think they converted like 3-4 fourth downs on us.
Yeah, they couldn't get a run. I mean, they couldn't defend the run. It was putrid, especially after playing so well against Kansas City the week before. I think everybody's expectations were they were just going to run all over Washington. Shout out to the Commanders. Shout out to Jaden Daniels, who I loved at LSU.
He played amazing last night.
He played. That was like his coming out party.
It's like he's been in the league for like years. The way he was playing.
He's looked good, but he hadn't looked that good.
Yeah.
But first, can I just say shout out to the crib. The crib, Cincy, our hometown looked good. Our hometown looked real good.
It looks nice.
It looked good in the lights. We got all hyped. I'm sitting in my backyard. I was like, let's go!
Yeah, Paycor looked amazing.
So to have that game be as disappointing as it was just like, you gotta be kidding me. And then, yeah, we didn't play well. Okay. But to have the refs make such an egregious call again for the second week in a row against us with a clear and evident pass interference call.
Yeah. Well, let's address it real quick. So, Bengals, for whatever reason, the refs just don't like the stripes. I'm just call it like it is. They don't like the stripes, man. We never get calls that go our way. It's almost like they just gotta find a call for us.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah. Something
to put the game in the opponent's hands a little more. Not blaming the loss on that call, because I'm not gonna blame the refs. Because there were things that we could have did to win that game. There were some missed opportunities, some missed tackles.
Sure.
We couldn't stop the run, a missed extra point, going down the field, not being able to punch it in the red zone, only kicking field goals. There were things that we missed out on that game. There were opportunities there to win the game. So I'm not going to blame the refs, but it's like an ongoing joke, man.
You know what it is? It's just a blatant disrespect. Because I told my husband, being a Bengals fan, I know when I watch a Bengals game, or when I watch another game, that call that is normally called in the NFL, a rule that is like clear in the NFL, like a pass interference, a collar, something like that, roughing the passer, the normal calls that every team in the NFL gets, if the Bengals have committed it, it's going to get called whether or not it's like legit. And if it's on us, it will never get called. Even though it is a legitimate call, it is a rule, it happens all the time, it is basic. If it is usually against us, we rarely will get that call. Even having gone to the Super Bowl recently, in the last couple of years, even having gone to the AFC Championship just a season and a half ago, even with all of that, still no respect. And that is the part that's very frustrating.
Yeah. just a week prior, they called it like a Hail Mary bang bang play.
Yeah.
And they still called it on us, which is all right, technically sure that's pass interference. So where was it this week?
Or not calling on us and then wait to the very, very last minute because you know you messed up.
Oh.
Call it at the end.
Oh, they always come back and
for Washington. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Crazy.
Yeah, but can I just tell you this?
What's up?
We just started our first episode of our first podcast together, complaining. We are like the typical fans, worst fans complaining. But y'all got us on the next day of a bad night for our team. But we'll come back. What do you think about next week? What do you think about the next opponent up?
Well, next week we play the Panthers.
Play the Panthers.
So we
got
gotta
a new
play
quarterback.
Andy Dalton.
Playing our old friend, the Red Rifle.
Yeah.
Yes. It's just kind of worked out that he'd be starting and playing his old team.
That's 0-3 right now. So I'm pretty sure he's feeling real confident.
Even the Panthers. That hurt you. That hurt you real deep.
Man, it's cool, you know. Hey, look, it is what it is, man. It is what it is, man. You know.
But why is it always like this? It's so painful.
I don't know. They have to figure out how to win.
So what do you think the problem is with the defense? What do you think?
It's the defensive line. Ever since we lost DJ Reader, and then they brought in a few guys to kind of like help with that, but it's just not working out.
But even still, the line looked damaged. It looked like, you know. I mean, kudos to Jaden though. Super excited for him.
Shout out to the Commanders.
Shout out to Commanders again. Went to college in DC.
Hey.
All right. Anyway, other than that, how was your weekend?
It was cool.
Was it good?
Yeah.
What did you do? Because I saw a movie.
I haven't seen any movies recently, but why don't you tell us about yours?
Well, since you asked, heading into the weekend, I had gone to a screening of Halle Berry's new movie called Never Let Go. I was invited to screen by a good friend of mine, and I'm there. It's this like very kind of industry screening, and I get there, and you know, I'm stuffing my mouth with whatever they had outside first, and I get out, sit down, and my homegirl who invited me leans in, and she goes, "Oh, by the way, it's a horror movie."
You don't watch horror movies.
Man, you know daggone well I don't watch no horror movies.
See, that's crazy.
I was in Us, and I don't watch. I barely watched that movie. I literally was like looking down watching that movie. I don't watch. It wasn't actually. Us wasn't too bad, but let me tell you, this Halle Berry movie, it's a thriller, but it is on very much leaning towards horror, scary.
Okay.
And it makes you think about a lot of things, and I actually enjoyed it, but I was watching it like this, like the whole time, kind of like through my hands and eyes. And I was so embarrassed because I think some of her team was there, so like it was crazy. So
I love horror movies. That's like I like them.
I know you watch all of them too. You watch like The Conjuring.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, they're fun.
No.
They are fun. Horror movies are fun. You can't get around that. You know, you don't go for the great acting, I guess, but you know, you just go for the fun of it. You know what I'm saying?
I guess. Okay, so talk to me about what you think is going to go on with the Panthers and what you think we should look forward to this matchup.
At this point, man, that defensive line got to stop the run. Because now, the cat's out of the bag. Bengals can't stop the run. So what do you think any team that plays is going to do? They run it like Forrest Gump. They run it.
Listen, we got to keep our fingers crossed on that. I don't even want to talk about the Bengals. They don't even deserve our conversation right now.
I think the offense deserves a little bit of, they scored 33 points.
Well, finally, Joe was connecting with Jamar in a way that looked natural. Mm-hmm. They feel like they're kind of finding their rhythm again. Mm-hmm. T got some catches, which is great. T Higgins.
But T didn't look as sharp as he usually does.
He's rusty.
Yeah, he did look as sharp. There's some things, not that he didn't play well. It's just there was some things I seen that didn't look as sharp as T normally does.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that has anything to do with the contract.
I was gonna say, not paying people,
Yeah.
not paying people.
That
means, like you can expect 100%, but you may not get 100%. Because who's gonna get out there and kill themselves without a contract, or you franchise them, and Jamar's playing with a little bit of chip on his shoulder, but
that man is
not happy.
Not happy. He is, and he's losing. He's losing games now.
Yeah, no.
He's not in a good way.
No. No.
He's a professional. I know he'll pull it together, and I know he'll do his job because that's all he do.
He's very
professional. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, absolutely.
I will say that about the LSU program. Shout out to them, because I feel like the young men that come out of there are very about their business. They're very much about character, at least for the last few years.
Yeah.
They've been very much about not being so flashy, but really being about their business, being about professionalism, the way they speak to the media. Even with Jamar, I know there's been a lot of restraint. Even with Joe, I know there's been a lot of restraint. And even last night watching Jaden, they all seem like put together dudes, and those dudes could have a totally different aura about them, but they seem to be pretty grounded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a solid program.
Yeah, and they're doing something right with those dudes, which is cool.
It produces some great athletes.
All right, let's talk about some other matchups.
Nobody looks that serious to me.
Except for Kansas.
Kansas City don't even look that serious.
They did.
They looked bad.
They don't. They look like they haven't turned it on yet, which is scary because they're 3-0. They look like they haven't turned it on. They look like they're kind of going through the motions, which is why Travis Kelce is don't have as many catches as normal. His involvement seems about at 50%.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more about what your cornball boy Patrick doing. He ain't really throwing it to him, so.
That's what I'm saying. They ain't looking as sharp as they usually look. They don't look.
He's connecting with a lot of people. He just ain't really trying.
He connecting with people, but they're not they don't look like that same offense last year. You saying they ain't turning it on.
I just don't
I'm
think
saying they looking human. They looking real human, but they are winning.
And not only that, I have yet to see someone or another team who feels like a threat to them. There does not feel like another team in the AFC or really the NFC that feels like a threat to their title.
We lost them by 1 point. And Joe plays them better.
That week we seemed the closest, and we didn't take care of business.
No, we didn't. We didn't.
So we seemed the closest, and then we just lost to the Commanders. So to me, there doesn't seem, and we lost to the Patriots before. So it doesn't seem like there's a team that week in and week out feels like a threat. In the AFC,
nobody looks like they're gonna knock off.
I ain't gonna hold you though. The NFC, I think the NFC looks strong.
But what teams? What teams you looking at?
I think they're doing some good stuff in Green Bay. The Vikings look amazing. Chicago is 1-2.
Chicago, they're 1-2.
So there may not be as much of a threat, but Green Bay, the Vikings.
How you feel about Detroit?
I don't feel about Detroit.
They're 2-1.
I know. I don't know.
You don't like golf?
I like Jared Goff a lot.
Okay.
I do. I don't know how much I'm dealing with the Dan Campbell shtick. Yeah, my dad is from Detroit, so I pay attention in the back of my head, but I don't really care about Detroit until it's time to care about Detroit. But come Thanksgiving, I'll root for them for sure. You know who looks terrible? Dallas.
I don't know if they're terrible.
They look it.
The problem is you never know what you get with that. 1 week he be amazing, next week he who you.
But is he the problem in this situation right now? Coaching. Kind of the same problem we have.
No, I don't think they have the same problem we have. I think they.
Our coach is getting out-coached every single week. He is not creative. Okay, don't get me started on Zach Taylor.
No,
I like Zach.
We're not
going to go there.
We're not going to act like Zach didn't have Jake Browning playing his butt off last year.
I think Jake Browning had Jake Browning.
We ain't going to act like Zach didn't have an amazing scheme going forward after the Joe Burrow injury last year. He had a good scheme moving. Like Zach did a good job with a backup quarterback to win that many games.
Listen, it was okay, and I was happy that he could get through, but 9-7 doesn't feel like a good job. 9-7 felt like we stayed above water.
It's a winning record.
We stayed above water. Not in that division, it is not enough. Anyway, I don't look it up. I think Dallas's problem feels like control, respect. It feels like coaching. I'm shocked that McCarthy is back, but I don't know. I find myself rooting for Dak.
I like that.
But I don't feel a certain kind of way about the Cowboys. I mean, there are people that love Cowboys or hate the Cowboys. I don't feel a certain kind of way about the Cowboys. I kind of feel like I wish we didn't talk about them as much. In fact, let's move on.
Well, that's America's team, so
let's move on. I'm interested to see what the Chargers are doing. I'm interested to see how that's going to play out.
Okay. Yeah.
Who's their matchup?
The Chiefs.
Oh, good.
I think this might be a decent matchup.
Agreed.
It's a divisional team. They know you well.
Agreed.
They got those running backs they got, man. I think those guys can make a big difference in this game. And now you got Harbaugh over there. I think Harbaugh is trying to pull all that together.
I agree. That's why I'm saying I'm interested, though. That's my thing.
Yeah, I think the Chargers will be good. I want to see the Bills and the Ravens. I think this is going to be an interesting matchup.
Why?
Well,
for obvious reasons.
I mean, yeah, two big-time AFC teams.
Yep.
And for like the last few years, everybody's saying the Bills are going to be that team. So let's see. The Ravens defense hasn't been the best.
I think they're going to get the ASS's tapped.
With the Ravens?
Oh my God, I think they're going to get spanked.
I don't know if they get spanked.
I think they're going to get spanked. I think I am excited about what we were just talking about, the divisional in the NFC, Green Bay and Minnesota.
Green Bay and Minnesota. I like Green Bay.
I think it's going to be.
I like Green Bay in this game.
Is Jordan Love back?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's back. But I like that young team. It's just a good young team. They play hard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I think the Jets, Broncos. I think I don't care. But I do think the
if
Jets.
you're a Jets fan, you do.
Yeah.
If you're a Jets fan,
well, I'm married to a New Yorker that
yes.
doesn't really know football, but he is rooting for the Jets, obviously. But if I'm rooting for a New York team, it's always the Giants, hands down.
The Giants, okay. I mean,
and the Giants are playing. Who are the Giants playing?
The Giants.
Come on now.
They playing Dallas.
Come on.
Divisional game. Where they playing at though?
In New York.
Dallas might take this one.
Nah.
Dallas might take this.
I hope not.
They might take it.
Come on.
Yeah, Mike Parsons might get loose on the guys.
No,
Yeah.
come on, Vera DeMilo. Come on, Vera DeMilo.
Wow. Vera DeMilo. Okay. Dallas. I'm going with Dallas in that game.
All right.
I'm going with Dallas.
New Orleans, Atlanta. I am thinking New Orleans is going to take that game, but the way that they looked against the Eagles wasn't impressive, but the first two games were so impressive.
I like Atlanta. Atlanta's been doing all right, man.
I like Atlanta too.
They
I think they're gonna fall short against New Orleans. How about Chicago, Los Angeles?
Yeah, I think the Rams getting this one.
You think they're getting it?
Yeah, I think the Rams winning this one.
Maybe, but I'll be rooting for the Bears.
The Bears.
Oh God, Pittsburgh, Indianapolis.
Steelers. Just on the strength that Mike Tomlin, I don't know what he do.
I know.
Like,
what do we always say? I tell people all the time, my cousin and I, we always say, because, you know,
like
we're in a division with them.
Game.
It's like, yeah, they're favored to lose, but Mike Tomlin.
They Mike Tomlin.
But it's Mike
Tomlin. I don't
Tomlin.
know what he do. I don't know how he do it.
Do you know how hard it is to be in a division of your rival team and still admire their coach so daggone much?
Even when they're like not good, they still got a winning season.
It's not fair. It's not fair.
Still got a winning season. I don't think has he had a losing season.
I don't want to talk
Leave
about it.
that alone.
Philly and Tampa Bay. That's gonna be a good one. Philly, I got Philly.
I want to say Philly, man, but
I got Philly. Houston and Jacksonville. I think Houston has to get back on the bike.
I'm taking
From
Houston.
last
'Cause
week.
Jacksonville looking rough.
Booty.
Like they looking real rough.
Arizona and Washington. I am taking Cardinals.
I'm going with Washington.
I'll see you next week on
I'm
that
going
one.
with Washington because
All right.
after a performance like that, there's no reason they should lose to the Cardinals.
Cardinals are decent.
Niners and Patriots.
Going with the Niners.
Yeah, they should bounce back.
You got Tennessee and Miami.
Oof.
Who cares?
Oof.
But I actually think
I like
Miami in that one.
I like Miami,
But Tennessee's got to get a win just like we do, so
yeah, that game could go either way.
that could go either way. I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to take Tennessee. They need a win. I honestly think this last matchup on Monday night is the matchup of the week. Seattle and Detroit. I think that's going to be a really good game. That is going to be a really good game. And I'm telling you, the NFC is actually really stacked. But it's good when it's kind of
that back and forth.
Yeah. You and I were raised in a baseball town in Cincinnati. Back home. And unfortunately, I don't think our Reds are going to have much of a showing past this next couple of days. But as we head into October, can you talk a little bit about what you saw with Shohei Ohtani last week with the Dodgers and his historic game? From what I saw, that was phenomenal.
That kid, yeah.
I think that was it's his first playoff appearance, and on top of that, he has established the 50-50 club.
Yeah, they might be dangerous in the playoffs.
They are very dangerous. They got Mookie. They got Shohei. They got some incredible pitchers over there. So
it's gonna be a problem.
It's gonna be a problem. I'm rooting for the Dodgers all the way because we're here in LA. We're rooting for the Dodgers, and if it ain't my Reds,
that was the same year the Dodgers won too, wasn't it?
Yeah, nobody got the parade.
Wow.
Okay, well that's it. We thank you for coming. Thank you for showing up, for taking a look at our very, very first